She doesn't want to be your number one. Let me read you a little paragraph from this book. You, of course, know it, The Way of the Superior Man. Although your woman seems to want to be the most important part of your life, she actually can trust and love you more if she is not. Purpose is the man's priority. So, what this means is she loves you more, she trusts you more, she will be more happier if your priority is not her. Even though you might think, but I need to love her, right? No, but your actual purpose, your goal in this life, right? And it should make sense because the priority of the woman in a relationship is to love her man, to support her man in life, in achieving his goals, being that like motivating, like cheerleading girl, like go, 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 my man, you know? So when you like disturb that dynamic of saying, you know, my priority is my girlfriend, my woman, of course he deep inside not loses respect, but just it feels wrong to her, right? So there's this like analogy or story where also said in this book of a man and his wife discussing in front of a train, and the man needs to go to war. The train leads him to the base camp of the military, right? And of course the woman is screaming to him, please don't go, tears in front of her face, all over her face, crying. And the man says, I need to go. And it's such a sad and like very depressing moment, but the man knows he needs to go. He needs to fulfill his purpose of defending his country, defending the people in his country. He knows he needs to do that, and the woman knows that as well, right? She knows that it's the right thing to do, to let her man go, or that her man goes to protect the country and defends the country, right? So imagine how weak she thinks of him, and if he just says, okay, no, I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna stay for you. Very cute, I'm gonna bring you flowers, right? Then this emotional moment just turns into a loss of respect. And of course, like on the upper scale, or like not deep inside, but in like in her face might be a big smile, right? That the man said, oh, I'm not gonna go. She might be happy, but deep inside she knows that something is wrong, because that disturbance of like the polarization, polarization of the relationship. Polarized basically means, woman is very feminine, man is very masculine, right? That this is disturbed. And that's a very interesting thing that I, when I read this book, every fucking nearly monthly, every time, that if you want to be happy with yourself and make your girlfriend or wife, future wife, happy, that you should never make her the priority because she doesn't want to be the number one. The number one should always be your task and your goal, right? Let me see if I still have something to say. Also, a quote or a paragraph from this book which I find very interesting. If a woman has become the point of your life, the reason why you're living, you are lost. You, as a man, of course, have a purpose to give to the world, or a gift to give to the world, right? You're on this planet for a reason, right? You have something in your heart that makes you the utmost happiest man on the world, right? Maybe it's like a easy layer of purpose of like saying, okay, I want to work out, I want to build a good body, I want to become strong. That's a purpose. And I'm gonna just give you the example of, let's say you're hanging around with your girlfriend, and you fucking at 6 p.m. you need to go to the gym, right? And you're laying in bed with her, watching movies, and the time is like 5 p.m. and like in 1 hour I need to go. And then time ticks, 5:30, 5:45. In 15 minutes I need to be out of sight the house, but you're still laying in bed with her, having fun. And then 6 p.m. hits and you didn't go anywhere, still laying in bed. And you think, oh, it's okay, I go a different time. And you might think, oh, nothing is bad, but in her head, if she knows every day you went to 6 p.m. to the gym, she might think like, doesn't he want to go? Is he like wasting time? And maybe if you have a very, very like honest girlfriend or like a very direct girlfriend, she might ask that, then you need to go to the gym? And then like any response you say is basically just minus respect. Like any answer. I don't think there's a right answer. Maybe if you find one, write in the comments. But the problem is, if she asks you, didn't you need to go to the gym? And you say, today I'm not gonna go because I'm with you. She might think that it's cute. No, you might think that it's cute. No, she loses respect for you. Or you might say, today rest day. Fucking bitch. Right? There's no good way to answer that question. That's the problem. So, if to repeat what we said like the past 5 minutes, if the woman is your main goal, your number one, she's losing respect for you. You are losing your drive. You are a man. You're supposed to build up yourself. You're supposed to start a business. You're supposed to make money. You're supposed to retire your parents. You're supposed to become strong, become a fatherly figure that people look up to, right? Maybe even it's like me creating content, building up like a little tribe, like Hamza says, like his little cult, right? Maybe that's your purpose. You need to discover that. And you should always keep your purpose, the main goal of your life, as number one. You should never decrease or change that purpose to your girlfriend because there's no benefit to it. She doesn't find you cuter or she isn't happier because you're hanging around more with her or you're texting her more. You're instantly responding with because you're in the gym and you instantly respond to her. She doesn't find that cute. That's not what you're supposed to do. But of course, right? If you're available and your girlfriend texts quick rant, then you can text her, right? Don't be a fucking bitch ass saying, oh, I'm going to wait 5 minutes. I'm going to be Sigma male. No, you're a fucking man, right? So if you're available, text her. But I'm saying, let's say you're, in the boxing gym, you're working out. You don't have fucking time to pick up that phone unless you're not doing the work that you're supposed to do, right? Let me go further in the book. Also, very interesting way to think about it. Also, a paragraph. Though she may not always like your choices, she will love them. And she will love you for having the courage to live your truth. So, living your truth is basically like following your purpose, right? So, that's like the interesting split of like you saying, okay, she will not like it, but she love it. Even though like they're both like liking a person and loving a person, that's like going into the same direction. Loving is just liking more. No, no, no. That's the interesting part. You know how like in movies or series you have the fucking nerd and the nerd wants the girl, but the girl is attracted to the bad boy and the bad boy doesn't give a fuck about her. He's just like fucking doing his bullshit on his purpose, you could say. And the nerd chases the girl and like texting her and talking with her and he's so nervous and it's so fucking cringe. And then the bad boy, bad boy, the alpha male, is just so distant. And the fact is, even though the girl is like talking shit about like, man, this fucking bad boy, this fucking he's so evil, he's so like he insults me all the time and shit. But at the evening, at the night, that girl is getting fucking pounded by the bad boy, and she loves that. She loves being treated that way because she knows the bad boy's purpose is not her. She's not the number one for the bad boy, right? But the nerd, the number one for the nerd is her. And of course, she likes that because she can, she gets that attention, right? She gets chased by him, but she doesn't love that, right? Maybe that's a good analogy. I can explain to you what like the difference of liking and loving in a relationship is, right? You should like never compromise in any way your purpose to make time for your girlfriend or make time to do something. Of course, if you haven't seen her in like fucking, I don't know, 12 years, extremely sad, then of course, make time, because your girlfriend is your girlfriend, bro. That's just your future wife. Unless you're a stupid bitch and you're just fucking her because she has a big ass, then then you're just fucking idiotic, right? But you're a man. You need to do your work. Like I made a fucking video like yesterday about what the fuck did I make a video about? Procrastinating, right? And I talked a lot about doing the work that you're supposed to do. So when you're like doing the work, do your work, focus on your fucking purpose, your tasks, your goal that you need to achieve in life. Because the second that you stray away from that path, the flowers that you're growing, or like the garden that you're growing by following the purpose, is getting destroyed, right? You need to do that as an analogy of like when you're on your purpose, you're growing your garden, you're watering it, you're planting new plants or planting new flowers. And then, you stray away from that. You just, oh, I'm gonna eat ice cream with my girlfriend today. I don't need to go. I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to do my business. And the garden of what you build of like respect, power, and your purpose and everything is just, it's like a little like evil monster ripping the flowers out, kind of destroying that garden. And because it's destroying that garden, right, it's also like taking away from your achievements, your task, your progress that you're doing, right? Because the more you're focused on your purpose, the more your woman is gonna love you, the more your woman is wants your attention, the more your girlfriend wants to text you saying like, what are you doing, when are we gonna meet again, even gonna text you like, oh, when you gonna fuck me? The fucking horny ass. But that's like the interesting part, right? You might think, oh, if you're gonna be a lover boy, then you're gonna get all the girls. Yeah, you're gonna be like popular with the girls, but you're not gonna pound them. They're gonna get pounded by the one that fucking insults them and kind of like plays with their hair and slaps them, right? Because they love that, because their purpose of the purpose of the bad boy, or like the one that insults them, is not the girls. Let me see if I can find a different information or handy information that can give you. I had trust, right? The point of trust by following your purpose. It's so interesting to say that your woman, that the trust of your woman, the trust to you towards you, hasn't to do a lot with like honesty, of like saying your things truthfully, more so of what you show, what you do, and in a kind of a way that's also like speaking to her, right? But what I mean by that way of like showing what you do is, again, with the gym analogy, that you say to her, look, today no time, I'm gonna go to 6 p.m. gym, maybe tomorrow, right? Or whatever. And then 6 p.m. hits, and then, maybe she calls you, FaceTimes you because she's, interested in you, she wants to see what you're doing. And then you pick up the phone and you're at home fucking playing video games. And she asks you, what are you doing? And then you're saying, I'm playing video games. And you want to go to the gym now, fuck it. Like, imagine how fucking weird that is. And then fucking in 2 weeks, when you continue that, bro, you're gonna fucking get cheated on. Extremely sad. But I just want you to make your woman happy, that you stay also happy, because you just know that when you're on your purpose, when you do your task, when you like get that deep breath after finishing something, right? Doing a hard 1 hour full focus session of business, that relaxation, that now I have time to do something else. How happy that makes you, right? You know how happy that makes you. Even more happier than hanging around with your girlfriend. But it's so much easier to hang around with your girlfriend other than doing your tasks that you're supposed to do. So, other than that, I just wanted to say, stay on your purpose. Never make her the number one, or she's gonna get fucking pounded by, I don't know, fucking Tyrone, bro. I'll see you in the next one.